She says, well, the teaching fellows, who hire 20 to 25% of all of the teachers in New York City, they have done and I'm very proud of their aggressive efforts in 2006 and 2007 to increase the percentage of Black and Latino teachers in New York City. Now, if you look at the numbers from 2006 2007, and then look at the next numbers. So she's talking about, she's very proud of 2006-2007. And you'll see here, and she's the head of the entire Board of Education's hiring policies. And she's talking about the teaching fellows who are responsible for 25%. And she brags about, well, they're hiring 32% Black and Latino teachers. Well, what about the rest of the 75%? And even 32% is still a decline from 2002. So the DOE's response is point to somebody else, lay down some smoke and chaff. The test thing is definitely a conversation starter because people say, "Oh, gee, we don't want any dumb teachers. We don't want a teacher who can't pass a test." So it shuts people down. It intimidates people. It stops the conversation. It shifts the conversation from social justice, having a representative teaching staff, to your score on a test. People took the test to court. Constance Baker Motley, co-counsel in Brown v. Board with Thurgood Marshall, she ruled on it and she said, well, the test is job-related, so it's valid. It was appealed. The higher court remanded it back to the lower court, and they said that that test has to be validated. You can't just say it's job-related. What's the actual relationship to the job? So the thing, that whole legal thing is still sort of up in the air. But leaving the test issue totally aside, who gets the job? Who is being hired by the New York City Board of Education? It doesn't. New York City has a very large population of educated, well-educated Black and Latino people, and a concerted effort to recruit people, to offer people jobs, maybe back with the tuition waivers for the credits, for the education credits, would be very successful in my opinion. But it is not even on the DOE's, they just point to the state's test. It's a cover. It is the hood in New York City, just like we had the hoods in the Old South there, the Ku Klux Klan, the hood. This test is the hood of the modern day. I'm covered. You can't touch me. I'm hiding behind the objectivity of a high-stakes exam. Okay? So that's one point to hit. But the other point is, who is being hired by, it's a very simple thing. Who are you recruiting to be a teacher in New York City? Because test or no test, you can go out there and you can get people who will pass that test. But that is not the DOE's agenda. That's not what they're doing. It's very clear. Now, our efforts, I'll tie it up now. Over the past few years, we have tried, and we're making progress, to try to place this issue on the agenda of the UFT. It's been difficult, it's been slow and frustrating. And I encourage anybody who's interested in helping out with this, we need help. Okay? So please come up and introduce yourself if I don't already know you. On the back side of the statistics, you will see a resolution finally passed by the UFT Delegate Assembly unanimously. No one dared get up and really argue against it. You'll see there are a number of very effective resolves, which I don't have time to read aloud now. The resolution is halfway decent. It's not the resolution that we first drafted. They chopped it up a little bit, but it's not bad. Ernestine and Mark were at the meeting, and we gave out flyers from an earlier leaflet in previous meetings, but the efforts of UFT teachers, 3 of whom you see here right at this table, helped to move this agenda, put it out there. Now they don't do anything about it. And that is our next issue. Implementation. There is no implementation since the final passage in February, was it? There has been no implementation whatsoever. This is, hey, look what we did. But they did nothing except cover, paper. So, we go back to the grassroots. We must try to to implementation. Starting from number 1, that the UFT demand that the New York City Department of Education rededicate itself to a policy of actively recruiting and hiring teachers of diverse backgrounds in order to reverse the downward trend of the last 8 years in the percentages of African American and Latino teachers, and to diminish the considerable gap between the numbers of African American and Latino students and the number of teachers of color. That's just the first one. That's good. But they haven't made any demand. What demand? They have not even printed this resolution in the UFT paper, although you can read it online. It's not been printed. Paper, right? Well, everybody can see it. I won't go further with this. I'll end it there. But there's been progress here. We have made some steps, and I think that we'll make a progress.
Before I introduce our last speaker, Mark.